Greetings, NASCAR enjoyers, and here we are at EchoPark Speedway, and we already get a weather delay from a rainstorm. Dang it! Looks like Mother Nature has come over to hold us back yet again. Yep, rain has become a factor in some races, especially Pocono. But hey, at least it's not as bad as the snow weather delay in the 90s at Atlanta, and that was pretty much abnormal. But anyways, after Mother Nature became a factor, the race eventually goes underway with a battle for the lead between Austin Hill and Sheldon Creed, and this time Creed will be the one to lead thanks to him getting a push from Sam Mayer. Just watch out, he'll get past you, eventually. And then all of a sudden, a caution came out with Sawalich, Reslav, Eckes, and Josh Williams getting involved in a wreck. Already? And Jesse Love is told that there might be hail. Mother Nature. You just can't help yourself, can you? Great. Just great. But we can't always control the weather. So who knows if it might affect this area or not. But anyways, the caution ends with Creed jumping to the lead yet again. He got a push by Zilich, who keeps getting better and better at ovals. Austin Hill starts falling behind, which is crazy considering that he's usually dominant at Atlanta. The reason why he's falling behind is because of an issue with fuel pressure. Then that's the first time hearing about it. As Hill continues to have fuel issues, Creed continues to lead. So far, not much is going on. And just like that, Hill is out of fuel, which means that his Atlanta winning streak is over. And just like that, a caution came out for weather, but it's not for rain. It's for lightning this time around. Because of that lightning strike, there is a 30-minute wait until the race gets back on, and the race is red flag. But here's the thing. The lightning continues to strike, and the clock gets reset every time a lightning strike happens. Mother Nature is at it again. After the never-ending clock ends, the race restarts. Several drivers come down to pit road to flip the stage. Brandon Jones is last to come out of pit road as he had issues. But anyways, the race restarts with Sam Mayer jumping to the lead. And another huge wreck causes the next caution. Sheldon Creed, Sammy Smith, and Catherine Lage have also been wrecked out. This is bad for Creed as he was looking good. Thankfully, some drivers survived. Because of that, the stage ends under a caution. Taylor Gray wins the stage. Again, the race ended under the TSN broadcast of my Amazon Prime subscription, so I had to look for alternatives. You really need to get this sorted out, TSN. But anyways, the first race off of pit road begins, and Sam Mayer wins the race off of pit road. Connor Zilich and Carson Kvapil are running 1-2. And the second stage begins with Zilich and Kvapil bowing for the lead. Even more surprising is the fact that Leland Honeyman is in the top 5. The 91 of McLaughlin, no relation to Scotty Mack by the way, hits the wall and avoids causing a caution as he was able to keep his car under control. Kvapil switches lanes and both him and Zilich trade the lead. DiBurrito, yep, that's Matt DiBenedetto's nickname by the way. I think it's one that Michael Moose came up with, although there's also a character in the annoying Orange series named Matt DiBurrito, who's a parody of Matt DiBenedetto. Is running in 5th and trying to connect to the drafting train. Jesse Love jumps up to 6th. Wait, what? There's no way he would have caught up. His car is damaged. However, he does fall back to 10th after he loses the draft. And Sanchez loses control and causes the next caution. Dang it! Jeb Burton gets the free pass. Also, some racers are using the Skeleton gloves, which is part of a charity that the Dale Jr. Foundation has. But anyways, the caution ends with Zilich leading. Jesse is trying his best to draft ahead, even with his car being damaged. Just when Jesse Love jumps up to third, Harrison Burton spins out and causes yet another caution. Several drivers come down to pit road, while Kvapil and Love stay out. The caution ends with Kvapil and BJ, Brandon Jones on BJ McLeod, battling for the lead, and Jeremy Clements causes the next caution. Good lord! Can we please get the race started already? Good golly. Yeah, like they haven't even put in a full lap. It's like something you see out of iRacing. Like before, the stage ended under a caution and BJ, Brendan Jones, wins the second stage. Several drivers come down to pit road during the stage caution, and Mayer wins the race off pit road yet again, even though Zilich was close. The third and final stage begins with Gray jumping to the lead. Amarola tries to take it away from him. He does so, and he's now in the lead. Wait, what? I'm hoping that someone will get past him. Yeah, people often complain about lack of passing with the next-gen car, but this is not a next-gen problem. This track also barely has any passing in the Xfinity Series as well, so it's not a problem that's exclusive to the Cup Series. BJ tried to prevent Zilich from getting past him, but it failed. Jesse Love, who tried to move up to the two JGR cars, fell back to 8th as he got lost in the draft, and just like that, McLaughlin causes the next caution, which I would hope would shake things up. I'm not too upset about this caution, as I don't want to see another bushwhacker going to victory lane. And yes, I consider Almirola a bushwhacker, as unlike Justin Allgaier and Matt DiBenedetto, aka Matt DiBurrito, he is not a Cup driver that chose to move down to the Xfinity Series and was a full-time Cup Series driver one time. So yeah, that's why Almirola is still a bushwhacker. That's why I still consider him to be a bushwhacker. He's not a full-time Xfinity driver. He's not an Xfinity Series regular, unlike someone like Justin Allgaier, for example, who moved down to the Xfinity Series because he wasn't very good in Cup. Several drivers come down to pit road, but Almirola and Gray stay out. But anyways, the caution ends with Almirola and Mayer battling for the lead. Mayer was not able to clear Almirola as Gray pushed him to the lead yet again, and another caution comes out for debris. I'm hoping that this is the one that will be the Achilles heel to Gray and Almirola. Fingers crossed. The caution ends with Sanchez side-drafting Almirola and trying to take the lead away from him. Wow, it's impressive that he is running down a Cup Series veteran, and he actually does it! Holy crap, he does what the number 48 Big Machine car hasn't done in a while! Yeah, he has, the Big Machine number 48 car hasn't led in a while. Not even Klingerman was able to do something like that in 2024. Another debris caution comes out. Dang it! With 7 to go, anyone can take the win. Sanchez and Love go head-to-head. Love falls back to 8th, and we get another close call. It's free to go, and Sanchez is resilient as he hangs on to the lead. Even Almirola attempted to jump to the lead, only to fail. Even though Quapple tried to get past him, Sanchez still managed to get his first victory in the Xfinity Series. Holy crap, that was unexpected. Yeah, this race looked to be a disaster with 2 weather delays and way too many cautions. But the end is where it got good. So yeah, Nick Sanchez did what Parker Klingerman was never able to do. Bring Big Machine to victory lane. This race would have gotten a 6 out of 10 had it not been for Sanchez's insane win, but it gets a 9 out of 10 for the fact that Sanchez was able to hold off 3 drivers and recover from a spin out. But anyways, that's it for the Xfinity race. Now let's head on over to the Cup Series race at the newly renamed EchoPark Speedway. Greetings, NASCAR enjoyers, and here we are at NASCAR on TNT, and the Cup Series returns to the newly renamed EchoPark Speedway, even though a lot of you will still call it the Atlanta Motor Speedway, because EchoPark Speedway it doesn't sound as good. Of course, I'll be watching on TSN, because I come from the Great White North, but anyways, this year's Quaker State 400 at EchoPark Speedway begins with Joey Logano getting pushed by Cindric to the lead. I really hope someone gets past him. So far, not much is happening on the EchoPark Speedway train. Well, Atlanta Motor Speedway train, if you still want to call it that. Barry is trying his best to get past Giggles Logano, but because it's the drafting configuration of Atlanta, EchoPark Speedway, he isn't able to do so. That and Logano is always one to block the car that is running him down. Yeah, he is very aggressive and can get very angry over something. He got angry that Cindric let a Toyota win the stage, and he got angry that, well, Austin Dillon forced him to spin out of last year's Richmond race and tried to run over his pit crew. Well, Austin Dillon's pit crew, not his own pit crew. So yeah, never make Logano angry. He will lose it. Anyways, Tyler Reddick has only overtaken one car so far. Byron, aka Free Willy, has moved up for a brief moment until he falls back. Brad K is finding it difficult to try to jump up ahead of the two Penske cars, though he got past Barry and is now running down Logano. And the caution just came out, but it came out during commercial. Really, TNT? Thought this problem was exclusive to Fox. Get your stuff together, TNT. The good news is that we get the NASCAR In-Season Challenge, which is a first for the Cup Series. Yes, we do have the Dash for Cash in the Xfinity Series and the Triple Truck Challenge in the Truck Series, but it's the first time, if I recall, where the Cup Series has something like this aside from the Winston Noble 5 and the Winston Million, but those didn't have tournament-style brackets, if I remember correctly. Out of all the gimmicks, this is one of the more fun ones. The race gets red flagged for drizzle and the sun rain, which is also why pit roads stay closed. After a short rain delay happened, the race gets back to yellow. Several drivers come down to pit road and Bushy manages to win the race off pit road. Wait, what? Kyle Busch isn't known to have the best pit crew, yet he was first to come out of pit road. But anyways, the caution ends with Logano and Cindric battling for the lead, and Cindric manages to get past him. Yes! But Logano won't be easy to overtake. Larson is also trying to move up. Brad K jumps up to second and is now leading the race. Holy crapper, this is getting exciting, and the caution just came out. We get our first big one of the day, and Bell is one of the many drivers to get involved in it. Which is crazy considering that he won the other Atlanta race this year, you know, before it was called EchoPark Speedway. One benefit of the next-gen car is that the braking performance allows drivers to avoid wrecks more easily as opposed to the older cars where it was much more difficult. Yeah, that's why NASCAR has to return to using smaller tires and steel rims, because the new tires and rims grip better and are better at avoiding wrecks. But it's still challenging to do though. But anyways, the stage ended under a caution and Austin Cindric won the first stage. Ryan Blaney also got taken out of the race as he got involved in the wreck. Several drivers come down to pit road during the caution and SVG wins the race off pit road. Now that's impressive considering that his pit crew was never the best that track has had to offer. But anyways, the second stage begins with Chase Elliott jumping to the lead. Wait, what? And the caution came out already. This caution was so huge that even Hamlin and Larson weren't safe from it. This might be the worst big one of 2025 so far. That means that Denny Hamlin is out of the race. Unless if the team decides to repair the car. Well, that is if NASCAR allows them to repair the car and they deem it to be unrepairable because you can't touch certain safety components and components that are vital to structural rigidity. Yeah, like this whole DVP ruling is confusing. NASCAR has a lot of rules, man. Even Logano isn't safe. It is a good thing that he's out of the race because I don't want to see him win. That I'm not too upset about, but I am too upset about Hamlin because yeah, some of you might have not wanted to see him win, but I wanted to see his point tally increase because I want to see him win the championship and get himself into the championship 4. We also get some more explanations to the DVP rules. Yeah, your car has to be at a minimum speed to prove to NASCAR that your car is still usable or it's out of the race. Several drivers come down to pit road and Elliott is first to come out. This time, there's no race off pit road. Also, crew members of other teams can't help and work on the cars of their teammates, so you're on your own. But anyways, the caution ends with Gibbs and Buescher battling for the lead. Gibbs overtakes Buescher and he is leading thanks to a push from Herbst. And SVG tried to jump up, but he fell behind after he got lost in the drive. And then Elliott retakes the lead, but Herbst got past him and he was leading until Reddick got past him. But won't be long until he loses the lead to Prosper, Texas. Gibbs then retakes the lead. Stenhouse is also in the mix. Buescher retakes the lead and then loses it again to Gibbs. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. also gets tight and crashed into Eric Jones, although it's a small crash as no caution has been thrown. But he still got damage done to his car nonetheless. It's only just a scuff. It's nothing too major. Tispa scratch, as the Black Knight would say in, well, one of the Monty Python movies. I think it's Monty Python the Holy Grail, if I remember correctly. Herbst gets loose, loses control, gets involved with another driver, and causes the next caution of the day. I'm not too upset with this one. I'm not too upset about this one, as it gives Prosper Texas a chance to get past Gibbs. Yeah, I don't want Ty Gibbs to win the race. Nearly every driver came down to pit road. And Reddick wins the race off pit road. The caution ends with Reddick leading, and Bowman is then running him down until he got past him. Reddick and Bowman trade blows and is leading until Buscher gets past him. They then get into an intense battle for the lead. Little Bow Wow, that's Alex Bowman's nickname that Michael Roos came up with, is back in the lead until he loses it again to Prosper Texas. And then he gets it back again. And then Prosper Texas gets the lead back until he loses it again. Buscher falls back to third after Little Bow Wow hung on to his lead. His teammate, Chase Elliott, manages to get past him. Little Bow Wow, aka Alex Bowman, has fallen back to fifth. Reddick has also tried to get past Elliott, but he wasn't able to do so. He tried a second time and Chase jumped up. Prosper Texas almost caused a caution as there was contact with him and Jones, but he was able to save it. Phew, that was close. Reddick eventually got past Elliott and is now in the lead. Here we go. It's the final lap of the second stage, and Reddick won the second stage with a close margin. Now this is what racing at the new Atlanta is all about. Needless to say, racing at the new configuration has been great so far, unless if Giggles is winning. Several drivers come down to pit road and Chase Elliott wins the race off pit road. The third and final stage begins with Elliott jumping to the lead. Lil Bow Wow took the lead after Elliott got lost in the draft and fell back a bit. And then SVG loses control and caused another caution. Just be glad it's not a big one like last time. Several drivers come down to pit road to get gas and or tires. Justin Haley wins the race off pit road, but anyways, the caution ends with Lil Bow Wow getting a push to the lead by Elliott. He loses the lead to Brad K. Holy crapper, this is a big moment for RFK Racing. Just when Lil Bow Wow was trying to jump to the lead, Bubba Wallace loses control, gets involved with another driver, hits the wall, and causes another caution. Several drivers come down to pit road, and Reddick wins the race off pit road. Tyler Reddick gets penalized. Oh, come on! But anyways, the race restarts with Gibbs leading, and Priest is now in second, and has gotten past Gibbs for the lead. Holy crapper, he's now leading. Oh, come on! Eric Jones loses control and causes the next caution. A few drivers come down to pit road just to be safe, and Justin Haley has issues down in pit road. The caution ends with Elliott leading until he loses the lead to Brad K. David Starr gets into the grass and causes the next caution. Good lord, it's just caution after caution. Anyways, the caution ends with Chase Elliott being pushed to the lead by Ty Gibbs until Brad K got it back. He's now running 1-2 with Prosper Texas. Both RFK drivers still have to deal with Reddick, who just got past Haley. Contact ensues with Elliott and Buscher, who tried to get past him. It's now a battle of the pushers. And then Haley loses control, blows a tire, and causes the next caution of the race. Oh, come on! The race was looking good until that happened. Oh well, stuff happens. Several drivers come down to pit road and Stenhouse wins the race off pit road. The caution ends with Brad K continuing to lead. Tyler Reddick starts moving through the field, though it is difficult to get the lead even with fresher tires. Elliott falls back to 6th. Hold up, Reddick just jumped up to 3rd. He's now in 2nd and tried to get the lead. Reddick fell back to 7th. Meanwhile, Little Bow Wow gets past Brad K, and Brad K performed the crossover move on him. The two drivers continue to trade blows. Thanks to the help of Zane Smith, he gets the lead back. Zane Smith then takes the lead. Wow, that was unexpected. Reddick got back to 4th, and then Stenhouse jumped up to 2nd. Wait, what? Zane Smith gets the lead back until Stenhouse does an epic move and gets the lead back. Because of that, Bowman fell back to 6th. Brad K then gets the lead back. Chase Elliott got to the lead and managed to prove to HMS that he still has it as he took home a win for his home track. People often say that drivers can't pass with the next-gen NASCAR racing car. Well, this track proved them wrong. It sure did. Like, people are often saying, you can't pass with the next-gen cars. What kind of BS is that? Atlanta, you can pass at Atlanta. Like, I see passing at Atlanta. I've seen more passing in Atlanta than any Gen 4 race. Then that's because the configuration of Atlanta was much better than the older one. It's not the car, it's the track. You see, it's not the car, it's the track, okay? Don't blame the car, blame the track. This race had a lot of action, and despite a rain delay and a lot of cautions, it still gets a 9 out of 10 for the Hendrick driver that gets unfairly treated, finally getting his first win of 2025. But anyways, I'm going to sign off, and here's the link to last year's playoff Atlanta race if you want to see them. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell just in case you haven't already done so. Catch you guys next time, and peace out.